Chapter 9.3, Day 3, reviews solving quadratics. Quadratics are the equations where you have x square. The degree of the equation is square. So anytime when you're talking about when you have an exponent as 2, it means you're talking about quadratics. Solving means you're going to find the unknown variable. In this case, the unknown variable is x. So you're going to do this assignment as a group of 2 where you and your partner are going to do all of the questions but in different papers. So write both of your names. If one is not finished, the other one is not finished either. So I'm going to solve one of the question to see how we can do the other. So let's say I am doing A1 and you can follow the direction to do A2. A1 is solving by completing the square. For completing the square, you want to have the x term in one side and the constant on the other side. So you're going to add 12 on both sides. So you got here is x squared plus 10x equals 12. You're going to add both sides is the number that is half of 10. Half of 10 is 5. So 10 over 2 equals 5. Square that and add on both sides. So 5 square and 5 square. This becomes x plus 5 square equals 12 plus 25. X plus 5 square, 12 plus 25 is going to be 37. Now to get rid of the square and to find the x by itself, you're going to take a square root on both sides. And you're going to get here is plus or minus square root 37. Square and square root cancel. X plus 5 equals plus or minus square root 37. Minus 5 on both sides. X equals negative 5 plus or minus square root 37. There are two answers to this. One is negative 5 plus square root 37. And other is negative 5 minus square root 37. Just for the idea, if a2y equals x squared minus 8x plus 4, you can put or set y as 0, because once you find the x-intercept, you set the y equals 0. And then subtract the 4. You got x squared minus 8x equals negative 4. You're going to have the 8 divided by 2, half of b equals 4, and you're going to add 4 square on both sides. Add on both sides. So you're adding 4 square or 16 on both sides. Here you got x minus 4 square equals negative 4 plus 16 is 12. When you square root on both sides, you're going to get here is square root 12 plus or minus. You got x minus 4 equals plus or minus 12. You can write as 4 times 3. Add 4 on both sides. You got x equals 4 plus or minus square root of 4 outside 2 square root 3. There plus or minus, it means you're going to have two answers. One is the 4 plus 2 square root 3 and the other one is 4 minus 2 square root 3. For A3, you're going to subtract 3 on both sides so that x terms are by itself. And on the other side is 15 minus 3 is 12. You're going to get the half of b. Half of b is 4 over 2 equals 2. Take a square of that and add on both sides, and you're going to get here is x square minus 4x plus 2 square equals 12 plus 2 square. You got here is x minus 2 square equals 12 plus 4 is 16. So you're going to write that as 16. Now you're going to square root on both sides. X minus 2 square root equal plus or minus 16, square root 16. X minus 2 equals plus or minus 4. So you have here is plus 2 on both sides. X equals 2 plus or minus 4. It means that you have two equations from here. One is x equals 2 plus 4 equals 6. Other one is x equals 2 minus 4, and that's negative 2. So the two answers are 6 and negative 2. So find the solution of or x-intercept when a4, when fx is given. Fx is nothing but y. To find the x-intercept, you always put y equals 0. In this case, since fx is y, you put fx equals 0. And then you're going to subtract 4 on both sides. And you got x squared plus 12x equals negative 4. Now you're doing the same thing. You divide the 12 by 2 and you got 6 here. You square the 6 and add on both sides. And you got here is x squared plus 12x plus 36 equals negative 4 plus 36. X plus 6 square equals 32. Square root on both sides. This is plus or minus 32. X plus 6 equals plus or minus square root 32 is 16 times 2. And x plus 6 would be plus or minus 4 square root 2. The square root of 16 comes out as 4, and when you subtract negative 6 on both sides, x will be negative 6 plus or minus 4 square root 2. So B1, you're going to just take the square root on both sides, and you got here is plus or minus square root 9. You got x minus 2 equals plus or minus 3. So you got two equations, one with the plus 3 and the other one is with the negative 3. Plus 2 on both sides, you got x equals 5. And plus 2 on both sides, in this case you got x equals negative 1. So whenever you do the square root, you're going to always isolate the square. So you divide with 4. X square is 8. Square root of x square equals plus or minus square root of 8. And x is plus or minus square root of 4 times 2. And square root of 4 is 2. And inside there is square root 2. To find the x-intercept using factoring, you're going to use the cross method. On the top of the cross is actually 16, on the bottom is 10. So two number you're looking for, 8 and 2. So the factors are 8, x plus 8 times x plus 2 equals 0. You put them equal to 0 one by one and solve for x. Subtract 8 and you got x equals negative 8. Subtract 2 on both sides and you got x equals negative 2. For the next one, you set the y equals 0 and going to use the cross method again. On the top of the cross is negative 20. On the bottom is negative 8. You're looking for two numbers. Multiply to be negative 20. Add to get negative 8. So it's 10, negative 10 times 2. X minus 10 times x plus 2 equals 0. Put them equal to 0 one by one. And when you add 10 on both sides, you got x equals 10. Subtract 2 on both sides, x equals negative 2. For C3, you're going to just take out the common factor, that is x. Inside you're left with x minus 7. You have two factors, you put them equal to 0 one by one. Plus 7 on both sides. You got x equals 0 and x equals 7. For this section, you're using cross and box method. Multiply to be 21, add to be 10. And you're going to use the box. Inside the box, 3x squared and 7. And the number you found is 3x and 7x. GCF of the first row is 3x multiplied by x. Here is 1. So the two factors are x plus 1 and 3x plus 7 equals 0. Put them equal to 0 one by one to solve for x. In this one, x is negative 1, negative 7 on both sides, and you're going to get x equals negative 7 over 3.